pinch in that drive and big-time baseline finish.
Here goes Melvin Frazier right to the bucket. He averages
just one, denying every entry pass all over the floor, forcing the Green Wave to start their offense out of the scoring area.
And that time, Kent,
the job, pushing the basketball, pushing tempo, and absolutely dominating points in the paint. How do you do that? You're connected defensively. You create opportunities. And the Hills are right
to go right now as far as contributing defensively, which is that what they're looking for the most out of those guys?
Oh, what you're asking of those players.
Whoa! Barry had 5. He shot, put it, and missed. Second opportunity, no. And the foul under the basket.
Has to run this team. Doesn't have to be spectacular. Take care of the basketball. Tar Heels doing a nice job sharing the basketball. And look for a trap, a run and jump. Brooks unable to close it.
Slater for Frazier. Here last year with a knee injury and looking great coming back this year. 22, the largest lead of the early day so far for Carolina. Frazier.
Oh, goes up high for the contest.
You think he was thinking about that, though?
Oh, he
Conference Player of the Week back on November 20th. How about this, if it represents a sign of change for Tulane?
You have a freshman point guard and a freshman post player on the floor now as you see Joel Perry come to the scorer's table.
Here's the explosive. He's got the assignment on Boyd Coca, who sets that screen roll into the rim. Well covered by Williams. A little bit too late. Respective schedules a little bit different in the early going. A little bit more challenging for Carolina. A challenge to stay with good footing for Williams. And now Tulane turns it over. Carolina reciprocates. Now for North Carolina, they had that 11-game road trip, which certainly helped them get things in gear to start the year. And now
an opportunity to get a layup at the rim.
Shot clock dwindles on the possession. It's a 7-0 run right now for Tulane. And
on his rhythm now. 27 points against Davidson.
A lead up to 28. The largest of the day for the Tar Heels. They're down a guard here again for the second straight game with Seventh Woods out in a boot today. As we talked about earlier with that foot injury, plantar fasciitis against Michigan State, and Tulane at 6-1, getting ready for the start of American Athletic Conference play. Cornish, the transfer from UNLV, lost his dribble. Beg your pardon, no he didn't. Baseline through the double team. And
there you see it on the elbow. Not the most ideal place. Do a nice job making the offense extend well beyond the three-point line.
Three-point try. Guy who was a prolific high school scorer, not only in his high school days, but also on the summer circuit in upstate New York. Make the extra pass as Cornish steps in.
That's one where everyone on the court should be screaming one more. You move that basketball, shift the defense from one side to the other. Unselfish play, and the Green Wave, the last few possessions, one side to the other. Unselfish play, and the Green Wave, the last few possessions, have done the job executing offensively.
They've got the advantage numbers-wise. 4. Fight for it, and Ajang gets the offensive rebound. Cornish, not afraid to shoot, but he dishes this time. Sounds like a great for the Dean Dome, 78-52. And it's Melvin Frazier who's got 13 at the line. And it stays.
Because really, the Michigan State game, they got beat on offensively. They really struggled to make threes. Right now, he's going to have to make better than what he has. But they will be the beneficiary of how well that ball moves. And I think Cameron Johnson will have a lot to do with that. And then we'll be able to hear what I would say is now my favorite.
This team, as you alluded to, since the Michigan State contest, they've shown Mike in transition are able to keep up.
And you talked about the three-point shooting. Johnson at 45% three-point line. It's a new role for you this year, Coach Green, as you'd be
player of the year, but obviously being maybe the most improved player from one year to the next. And I think that's going to help the learning curve of those freshmen as they go along.
Carolina closing in on 100 and going to 8-1 today. Tulane and a big game in Atlanta between the Falcons and the Vikings leaders. In
Playoff selection has come out. What are your thoughts? Are
top 4 teams that made it into the college football playoff are the top 4 in the strength of record as well. So, you know, when you have human
excellent seasons, but Alabama, their losses happen to be later in the season. And say they weren't tested, they dominated every confidence. We've seen a glimpse from all 3 young bigs of what they can be, what they will. Make sure everybody is where they're supposed to be an extension of the coach. As he does that, I think
Carolina bench is just waiting to explode there as Barrett lobs it up.
Reynolds couldn't believe how open he was. Out to Frazier, baseline.
And an interesting point brought up by someone in the Memphis program today was obviously they were at Texas Tech before Memphis. And great play by
Houston, 1 point tonight. Cornish has to hoist. Wide left. Melvin Frazier, my God.
Efficient, 7 for 9, and they beat Kansas.
I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. I mean, you know, a lot of people try to make the comparisons of Steph Curry. As we take a look at
The Green Wave need a bucket here.
Well, Memphis has to make sure they extend out on the perimeter and don't give Tulane any easy looks from the three-point line.
Frazier gets exactly that and connects.
Set a ball screen and get him back down low where he's supposed to be.
Sloppy pass. Open floor for Frazier. Look out.
Really good block off inside by the black jerseys. Melvin Frazier matched up with Rob Gray low. You got to get it to throw it up. There it is. Frazier, feed it to Daniel.
One wasn't a great shot. Find himself wide open. Makes it 3.
A season high 15 points for Marcus McDuffie. Frazier banks it.
10 to shoot for Milton. Guarded by Frazier. At his length on length. Milton trying to go one-on-one. Tough shot.
Only 7 or 8 guys, Julianne, to get through the second half.
And I think that's the thing that we're going to have to wait and see, because against Temple.
Fitting in rather nicely thus far. Frazier, short. Parks hit the deck. Saved by Frazier somehow.
Be best in the nation if he had enough makes on the season to qualify. Frazier, a much improved shooter. And Frazier.
6th foul. So now 1 more on SMU, and the Green Wave will be at the line the rest of the night. Well, we don't have much of that left. 2:26 and counting.
let's see how Tulane attacks this 2-3 matchup zone that SMU has shifted to.
Well, that's delicate footwork there.
Three. Curran Scott works it inside, gives it back out. Scott for 3, off the mark, fight for the rebound, and Reynolds comes away.
Frazier. Kick out. That one goes to 5.
A lot of fight in the Green Wave tonight. And Frazier with the steal. 2-on-1 with Onaembo. Frazier all the way. Scores.
And their step on the defensive end now after their offense is kind of loosened up.
Paul corrals it. Here comes Frazier. 2-on-1, and Daniel.
Strong drive down by Frazier. Brown, also a guy last game, struggled a little bit, fouled out with 6 minutes to go. Quentin Rose is picked up.
Davis makes the second. Don't you think, Julianne, that ECU's got to make those freebies to hang around?
They do. They've got to make free throws. They've got to make layups.
Frazier.
And Diarra, just an out-of-control shot. Green Wave can take the lead here.
Finnegan, first time today.
Just a matchup nightmare.
Tulane could very well have the most improved player in the American in back-to-back years. Reynolds last year, Frazier this year. Oh, Frazier!
Martin misses, Daniel rebound.
Get it to your best player. Melvin Frazier right there. Let him make a play.
Frazier working on Bruton. What a move.
That's why.
An 11-point Wichita State lead. They jumped 6 spots in the polls after their win over Cincinnati on Sunday. Now number 13 as Frazier's got 2 more.
6 people, and that was it. They'll go 8 or 9 deep now. Milton does not like to come out and rarely does. Tough low shot, and that is going to be a shot clock.
15 years. More late in the shot clock action as Tyson from the corner. That will not fall.
Better defense the last few possessions for Tulane, forcing tough shots and then a quick.
Now with 13 and some change, it's down to 5.
And they lost to Georgia, who's clicking 9-2 this year. They also beat Marquette as well. The Green Wave leading by 5 on the road to start American Conference action. And look at that beautiful move by Frazier. Count it, Adam.
Mind you, too. Let's pack the house, yeah.
Trust me, those two programs do not like each other.
Frazier
trying to tie or take the lead. The game where the Pirates have controlled the score from almost the jump. Oh, look at that, wide open.
Put the ball in Jeremiah Martin's hands, their go-to guard.
Now, Martin and Parks have been the story here in the second half. Tigers have connected on their last 3 field goal attempts. Gordon saves it here with 8 to shoot. And then turns it over to...
As a high school kid in Virginia, won 3 state titles and was an unbelievable 3-point shooter.
And a fresh shot clock for the Green Wave. Wichita State only is +1 on the glass right now. Great job by Tulane to battle back. Frazier jumper is good.
At UCF, Providence. So strength of schedule, especially out of conference. But the BPI, the RPI are both solid. When we say they're safely in, they have been last 4 in, last 4 buys for about the last 3 weeks, and they have improved.
Welcome to 2018 college basketball. Now, certainly, a lot of schools don't look that spread out.
Xavier, too. Xavier getting a lot of love on game day this morning from Seth, Jay Will, Reese Davis and company. Shea down.
And they have done it. 4-0 here to start for Tulane. Ball into Anecchionia. Here's Quentin Rose. Offensive rebound by Josh Brown.
I like what Temple's doing early, getting Obi and Anecchionia inside and getting the ball in the paint. Just coming up empty.
Reynolds on the run for Tulane.
This Tulane team is hard to guard. It's not just Melvin Frazier.
Frazier, and he got...
Good movement by Temple, sharing the basketball to and fro. I like it.
Alston for 3. Temple's won 4 of the last 5 in these head-to-head matchups versus Tulane. Won earlier this year in New Orleans. Here's Frazier for 3. Got it.
Stuff up and fade away and everything else. Now he's balanced.
Cornish the rebound. Frazier got his pocket picked by Rose. But they lost 80-59.
Yeah.
And then they kind of were out of the conversation from that point.
You know, at Kelvin Sampson's team in Houston, they can have that effect on you where they kind of rip your heart out. They take the drive out of you. That's how hard they compete for the coach of the year in the American, Kelvin Sampson and the Houston Cougars. What a season they've had this year. I love that team. They're ranked number 318 in average size and one of the top 10 rebounding margin teams in the country. That is nasty Houston team.
Frazier, and he is out of bounds. And don't put it past a team.
You know, you got to wonder about that. You need a positive leader on that floor who picks his teammates up. I look for that stuff. I look for psychologically how guys and teams react to adversity, especially at this time of the year.
Guy takes a charge, you go over there to help him up.
Yeah.
Guy dies for a loose ball. Yep, good point. Three-pointer Frazier.
Defender down, just jumps over him from about 10 feet.
Here's a three from Nate Pierre-Louis, and out on the run. Look out, it's Cornish. Frazier got the step.
They were considered to be a middling seed in the NCAA tournament.
I mean, what happens if Milton came back? I mean, could you say the same thing for SMU? I know it's not Notre Dame, but...
In my whole story around the selection process, you said it yourself, we have brand bias. Now, me, I say, heck yeah. Right. SMU, I saw SMU in person. I saw them beat a good USC team.
Some trouble scoring inside here and some bunnies mark.
Temple has just never gotten their offensive mojo together, but still just down 6 points.
Six of 20 from the field for Temple at 30% so far in this first half. Here's Frazier. Got it stripped.
Really good help.
And it's a 2-point ball game now, under 6 to go in this first half.
Well, there's that freshman we talked about earlier, J.P. Mormon. He can bring it.
Frazier.
That's
Nice.
Tough. That's tough.
Shayich. Got a couple of those, couple of quick shots early in the possession by Tulane.
No, Shayich is one of those guys that is a stretch for. He made a three-point shot earlier. Good ball movement.
Brown.
It's good. Shiz is feeling it.
And gets
I'm going to trap you. You're not going to run what you want to run. You're going to run what I want you to run. Great coaching by Fran Dunphy.
It's a really good coaching matchup here tonight with those two.
It is. It's fun to watch.
It's blocking foul and Quincy. Progress is he going to probably make in the next year?
He's going to make a lot. And these minutes have been so valuable for him. Didn't play a lot early in the season, but now has earned his minutes.
I want to have him pick up the 4th personal foul with still this much time remaining. Ray Onaembo, not sure what he wanted from his teammates in that last sequence. There's Frazier, he just had the touch. Get him going.
Josh Brown's been matched up with him. Finally, he gets a touch, and there's the... I thought he did it right there pretty well.
It was pretty close as Frazier was going up.
Frazier's offensive juice is flowing again. Get to the free throw line, make some shots, get some confidence going. Mike, there's times when Temple plays their best, I feel like Josh Brown has complete control of this basketball team. And I feel that way tonight about Temple.
Well, Brown's out there in the corner, and Echionia. Tough fadeaway over Frazier, no good. Rebound.
5 for Tulane, being denied by Mormon right now.
Shayich. Here's Frazier. And that is a foul.
Melvin Frazier could not go left a year ago. You might as well just cut off his left arm. He was only going to go right. But he's a lot better. The most improved player in the American this season.
Told me yesterday about the many players that he's discussed, their attributes with, and what lead for Temple is down to 3. Now it's back to 6.
Frazier staying aggressive. I like it.
Shayich always around the rim. Rose for 3. Try to get back door to Frazier, but that was good defense by Brown.
Frazier really wants it. He's hunting his shot right now.
And he takes it in. 74-67. Cornish dumps it in for Shayich. And Frazier finishes. 13 points for Brown. Frazier, minute and a half to go, is taken over this second half and continued.
That is tough.
Frazier's really come alive. 15 points now. 1 away from his average. Alston feeds the cutter. Pierre-Louis didn't have the shot.
Smart. Two freshmen have played really smart in this possession. J.P. Mormon against full court pressure. And then Nate Pierre-Louis right there giving up, running some more clock.
Mormon on the take. And he's...